Welcome to the Work in Progress podcast. I'm Helen Gilbert, the Talent and Development Partner at Euromonitor, and today I'm joined by Nadia. Can you give us a little intro?
Well, thank you so much for having me, Helen. It's a pleasure to be with you. I'm Nadia Strone. I have the great privilege of leading the people and impact functions for Euromonitor, and I've been with Euromonitor for almost a year now.
Yes, thank you. So I'm going to hit straight into my first question. With your career, have there been any unexpected twists and turns that have sort of helped you go further forward?
Absolutely. Moving across the pond was a big twist. My then husband and I had always said if the opportunity came up to move abroad that we would take it. And I was working with Avon Cosmetics at the time, and we'd sold the US business and global headquarters was moved to London, and I was lucky enough to be asked if I wanted to move, and we jumped at the chance.
I can't imagine relocating. Like, I love the idea of it, but I just don't think I actually could do it and commit.
Luckily, the similarities between New York and London made it a really easy decision.
With that in mind, how do you make decisions when you're faced with a big career crossroads?
I'm a big believer that if you don't take the risk, you lose the chance. So I've always been a jump with 2 feet type of person. It's how I got my first commercial regional role. I'd had a long history of 10 years of doing global roles. And I was just about to go out on maternity leave with my second daughter, Sophie. And before I went out, I'd said to my manager at the time, there was a regional role supporting Western Europe. And I said to her, if that role should come up while I'm off, I still want to be considered. And Sophie was probably 4 weeks old when my boss called me and said, this is that call. And assured me no hard feelings, if you have changed your mind, if you've had a change of heart. And I said, absolutely not, I want to be considered. And so I came in to interview with the then GM of Western Europe and left my 4-week-old baby with my ex-husband in reception with a diaper bag and a bottle, and went and interviewed and came out of that interview knowing I want that job.
So that's got to be such a high pressure environment, like not even just an interview that's high pressure anyway, but like knowing that your daughter's downstairs waiting for you, you're like, I just need to get through this interview, but also I need to get back downstairs.
Very much.
If you had your time again, would you still choose HR?
I think I naturally gravitated towards HR as a career choice. Back when I was at university, HR wasn't the career choice or the degree of learning that you can opt for today. There wasn't a degree in HR. There were barely certifications in HR. And so I think I kind of managed to find my way to it despite that not really being a very obvious option. Growing up, I kind of wanted to be everything from a teacher and a lawyer and a social worker and a psychologist. And somehow I managed to find a job that includes all of those things.
Amazing. Like to sort of like get there, and like you've got such an evolution as well in regards to like what you've done and where you've been.
It's been a journey, and as we often talk about with people that seek our guidance on career progression, it's not always linear. My path was not a linear path. I made a lot of sideways moves and some backwards moves to be able to go forward.
Okay, so let's pivot slightly. So with people's workloads everly increasing, how do people find that work-life balance and sort of like work hard, play hard kind of mentality?
I think you need to rally your village. It takes a village to support all of us, each of us. And I certainly have my cohort of people around me that I lean on for support, whether it's outside of work, inside of work, whether it's help with the kids, bouncing ideas with somebody at work. It's knowing who those people are that you can count on, that you can reach out to and get that support. There's no shame in asking for help.
Definitely.
And it's knowing when you need to ask for help and when you need to lean on that support network.
Totally agree. I think everyone has to have a support network to succeed, whether or not like you've got children or you're caring responsibilities or whatnot, just that sort of help you sort of bounce back and have that resilience as well.
Absolutely.
Keep them separate.
Absolutely. Knowing where you get your energy from and how to restore that energy.
How do you create time for personal growth with your busy schedule? I can imagine you'll rush off your feet internally and externally. So how do you make that space and time?
I schedule it. Like any other appointment, I have to commit to it. If it's not in the diary, it's probably not going to happen. So whether it's my personal development and learning, I made myself a resolution last year that I was going to stop making excuses. I'd always told myself, well, I'm too busy, I can't take a day to go to this conference or whatever. And it's about removing those excuses from my own mind. Nothing's going to fall apart if I'm not here for half a day. And making that commitment. And I make the same level of commitment when it comes to my personal well-being as well. You know, the time that I need to go to the gym is also in my diary.
I love that. I need to, because I have plenty of time to doom scroll, and I'm like, I've not got enough time for this and that. I'm like, if I've got time to doom scroll, I've definitely got time to be more productive, whatever that may be. What gives you the greatest sense of meaning in your career?
I think for me, the greatest sense of purpose that I get is from being able to influence and ensure that the experience we create for our employees lands with meaning, with intent, and with a deep sense of purpose. I don't like to do things just to tick a box. I don't believe in one size fits all. I want to make sure that the programs, the policies, the things that we put on as a function are valuable, add value to your own development, your own experience of Euromonitor, and ultimately that we're meeting people where they are, that we're enabling them to show up as they are, that we're inclusive enough that we are meeting people where they are.
I think that's a brilliant way of thinking about it, because I think having it personalised, I mean, it's one size doesn't fit all, so having it personalised makes it sort of that much more personal to you.
Absolutely.
My favourite question is like, what's one career myth that you'd like to bust right here, right now?
So that career progression is based on tenure. We often hear, you know, I've been in this role for X amount of time, what's my next move? And it's a question posed to the manager to solve. And it's for you to define what it is that you want to do next. And it is not based on time and role. Definitely.
I think as someone who is in L&D as well, so I always go with the assumption that actually you should have an idea of what you want to do. Like, the line manager can support you, but they're not going to push your career forward. You're going to push your career forward.
Absolutely.
And now this is my final question. So what does showing up well mean to you?
Showing up well for me is showing up with intent and showing up knowing what kind of impact you want to have. So I like to think of it in terms of, instead of having a to-do list, having a to-be list. How do I want to show up? How do I want people to feel about working with me? And what kind of impact do I want to have? And when we frame things in that mindset, it's a real paradigm shift. Rather than going through a tick list of tasks, you suddenly show up as somebody that is genuinely interested in the other side of the conversation.
Definitely. I think it's all about showing up well, like just like paying attention. Everyone has a bad day, but like actually minimizing the impact of your bad day on other people. So actually you can get like above the line as quick as possible.
Absolutely. That's so true.
Brilliant. Well, then I want to say a massive thank you for joining us today. And that's episode 4 of the Work in Progress podcast.
Thank you for having me. Fun for the outtakes.
I feel like it's going to be more outtakes than anything.
I think so.